WNBA. Let's go. Fast break, no fear, we play to win. Strength and power, let the game begin.
Welcome, everyone. You've reached discussions from the East Coast to the West Coast, and I'm Grandma Mo.
And I'm Lisa DCT. Done shoveling. You missed the snow.
So, we got tons of rain out here in California. Like tons of rain. It's still raining now. So Unrivaled's about to start tomorrow, and we've had a bunch of college basketball to talk about. There's not too much going on with the WNBA. So what do you want to get started with? You want to talk about Unrivaled?
Yeah, we could talk about Unrivaled because you're more knowledgeable with the college because I really haven't been able to watch too much, to be honest with you. Unrivaled starts tomorrow. There's 4 games, which I'm looking forward to. I like it because they're spaced out. Well, one's at 1, the next one's at 2:15, I think, and then two are at night. Little bits and pieces on the internet where you could see the scrimmage games that they had. It looks exciting, and the reason why I like it, and I want to get your thoughts too, is because I was disappointed in the all-star game for the WNBA because they didn't really play. So it's kind of like all-star figures that are really playing this time because it's league play, and the 3-on-3, it should be fun. I saw some clips with Mabry and Beckers, and the girls are just having a freaking blast in Miami. And how could you not?
Oh yeah, it's a perfect time to be in Miami, and you have it used to be 36. I don't know how many. There's 2 more teams, so
Yeah,
that's 12.
48. I
looked
looked up. I said there's 54 WNBA players in Unrivaled.
Yeah, and they're all in the same place. You bet they're having a blast. All the talk that they fight with each other or they're jealous. No, they're not. They're all friends. They're all playing they're all trying to earn their money playing hoops, and they all I would imagine there's some of them that don't get along, but a lot of them that they're all having a blast. And the 3-on-3 is just a different dynamic.
I know. I was like, wow, this is exciting to watch.
Last year. I enjoyed it last year.
This year they got the Samsung Rest Club. I wrote that down. Dedicated space for rest and recovery. They have a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, massage treatments, and they partner with all kinds of people. I'm like, sounds like I want to go. They even have this. I don't know if you heard this, but they have Galaxy wearables, it's called. They're tracking everything, their heart rate, blood oxygen levels, their movement, their activity patterns, and every coach will have tablets to have real-time stats on each player.
Yeah, they did that last year.
Unbelievable.
There was a clip on their shorts. It looked like a little square about this big. And it was like, what's that black thing? And then they said, we're tracking all this, tracking their movements, their heart rate, all that stuff. Yeah, it's a new technology they're doing.
Jeez,
that's pretty cool.
It's incredible. And they've also
this is the type of league to try that stuff. You can
Exactly.
try all that stuff, and then if it's really popular or it works, I'm sure if we have a WNBA, which I'm certainly hoping they'll get that together. But you can try that kind of stuff in the WNBA afterwards.
Yeah.
So
beneficial. I'm like, in modern technology is just incredible. This is how these girls are, able to improve. I did there was one other thing. Oh, I did want to mention that Nafisa's out. I think she's having surgery on both her ankles. Of course, she tweaked that one.
That's what's said.
Towards the end, but she'll be at Unrivaled. But your buddy's there taking her place. I was so excited for you. And what do you think?
Temi Pegbenley of the Valkyries is going to be taking her place.
How do you think
Temi is uniquely suited for that type of play because she's fast. She is a post that will run the floor, and it's going to be interesting to see how she does in Unrivaled. But it's not a bad fit. I mean, that's not a bad. She doesn't score as much as Nafisa does, but as far as running the court, oh boy, you betcha.
Yeah, I was excited for you. I was like, oh, I wonder if Maureen knows, but you do. Of course you do, because you're watching like I'm watching. And
Yeah.
did you get to you? So you didn't get to see any of the scrimmage games or clips?
No, I didn't know they were available. I saw a post on Facebook about someone missing them. And I'm like, I didn't even know they were on. But I don't have TikTok, so I didn't see.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah,
something about the stud buds, uh, posting something, but I'm not on TikTok, so I
yeah.
didn't
They're
see
going.
any of it.
They've been going live, kind of like they did for the All-Star game. They've been going
Yeah,
live. Of course, they're both on separate teams, but that doesn't matter. I think
no,
Sephora is part of their thing, so they all got, glammed up. They're getting all kinds of stuff. Like I said, they're having the time of their life. Who's better than them? You know?
yeah,
Did you
yeah. It's a
did
good gig.
speaking of the W, did you see that Sylvia Fowles is going to Portland as an assistant
Yeah, I
coach?
did see that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, good
pretty
for
cool.
her.
I like her. So I saw her
Yeah.
in Connecticut for her retirement year, they gave her something. So I'm happy for her.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
she's a big
happy.
girl.
Yeah, she is. And she's really nice, and
Yes,
so I'm like,
she comes across that way. Yeah,
she was very, very nice, very humble. I have to
yeah,
say, like a gentle giant.
yes.
But I do want to mention one thing, and it's about you because you found your clip from when you were playing football, flag football, which was awesome. You posted it. And
That was also in
I'd like
Florida
you to
at
talk
this
a
time
little
of the
bit.
year.
What's that?
It was also held in Florida at this time of the year. It was
Yeah,
President's
there's
Weekend.
so much because you were the stepping stone, the foundation of what these girls now are able to do with leagues. Talk about that just a little because I was more excited that you found it than I think you did were. And you're like, they
Well,
came and they ranked you up.
I didn't know it was still going on. We were
It's
part of the
amazing.
very first tournament in
Yeah.
1994.
Yes.
And the woman that was doing it didn't really know how to set up the brackets. So we're all there in this big group. There was 8 teams. We were one of
Right.
8 teams.
Flag
We had gotten
football.
a flyer on it. We had gotten a flyer on it, and I got like some of the best players in our San Francisco league. We used to play at Golden Gate Park in San Francisco every Sunday. And that was started by a bunch of some lawyers that all just wanted to play against each other. And then I don't know how I found out about it. Someone mentioned it to me, and I went out there and I went, "Oh wow, this is wonderful!" Because I love playing football.
Yeah.
And
You had a hell of an arm.
so I
That
just
was a that was
hooked
a
up with
great
a
pass
team.
they showed. Your arm was
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, we had a block.
You're
Anyway,
like
so I
you're
got
on the
I found
you're on the fly and you're going whatever the girl's name. Go deep.
Michelle.
Yeah, I know. That
Yeah,
was
because
awesome.
I needed her to. She had the opening going deep, and I just said, keep going," and then I just hit her
That
with
was
it.
great.
But the like the San Francisco one started in 1990, and so we were playing for a couple of years, and we had a great time. And then we got this flyer about this national tournament, and I forget if the woman that runs it came out to San Francisco. She might have, and was handing around flyers or something and trying to get teams to come to this first ever national. And I was like, oh, this sounds like fun. We should go. What I didn't know if anybody else would be interested. So I asked around with players in our league and I said, hey, who wants to go to this thing? It's in Florida in January. This is like perfect weather. We'll have a blast. So we got, I don't know, remember how many people, and we all got flights. And then we did a fundraising tournament, which I put together in San Francisco, and we got teams from all over, and whatever fees we got for entry fees, and we had like a bake sale, like bake sale kind of thing, and we raised the money to go to pay for. It didn't pay for the whole trip, but it paid for part of it. I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was like half. We ended up only having to come with half of that out of our pockets to fly to Miami. And then we drove, and it was in Key West. So we drove down to Key West. Some of us flew directly to Key West. But oh my God, what a blast. Key West is a 6x9 mile island that's completely flat. We all rented bicycles and we were all around. And oh my God, what a blast. And you had there was a team from St. Louis, and there was a team, there were teams from Key West. They were all around. Anyway, we ended up making the championship game, and it was a double elimination flag football tournament, which was set up badly. But that's how she wanted it run. It was like, oh my God. And so we're out there in 80 degrees, and it was our fourth game of the day, the championship game. And I didn't realize it, but my body was exhausted. And I went to those we were in the championship game with the St. Louis team. And we actually, I forget, we had to play them twice. So we beat them the first time. And then we had to beat them again. Because I think we lost. I don't know if we lost. I don't know. Somehow we had to play them twice. So we're playing, and we've been playing all day, and now it's nighttime, and we're in the game, and I'm like, and we had figured out how to beat them. They were a good team. And I started running out of the pocket, and I went to do a shake and bake, and I blew my knee out.
Oh, geez.
And
well, I saw in the clip you had a knee brace on. So you had.
That was 2 years later. That was 2 years later. We had gone for 3 years. I don't know if I went it's so foggy because it was 30 years ago. Surprising that it was 30 years ago. But we had, I think the second year we just went with our normal teams. Like we took a couple of teams because we had so much fun. There was at least 2 of the teams that we went with. And then the third year we went with kind of an all-star team again. And I don't remember what happened then, but that NFL Films was there.
That's what I said. They mic'd you up.
And they put a mic on me.
Yeah.
They put a mic on me, and the clip that you see, I had this thing on me, so it felt the same as the flags did. So I went to, I think that was the first game of the day, and I go out there, and someone's like, hey, you don't have any flags on. I was like, oh, crap. I go, the mic felt like, because it wrapped around your waist, I thought it was the flags. Anyway, so that's the beginning of that. And then one of the girls on the team, she was getting sick. And so it was like, get out, get somebody else in there. So they filmed that. And then they filmed the play but that's how I spent most of my flag football career.
That's awesome.
Running,
because now it's really progressed. I mean, there's all kinds of leagues
it's amazing,
for women, and back then, you, like I said, the pioneer of the sport. It continued.
Yeah, exactly. We were actually the very beginning of that, and
exactly.
I just didn't realize it was still going on because after that, my knee was pretty messed up, and I had stopped playing flag football, and I just started playing softball, and then I had to have surgery. I finally got surgery on my knee in '99, so by then I was way out of.
What sports do to bodies? It's pretty amazing playing sports. Like even, you think like Nafisa, right? She's going to get her ankles. Dijonay had, I think, an ankle. All these surgeries that these kids have, down the road, you get into your 60s, you see a lot of even the men, they're all pretty much jacked up. We know what that feels crippled. Like.
Although I played sports until I was 48. So I was playing competitive, but it was mainly softball. I had stopped playing basketball. But the thing that brings this into the basketball was because of that knee injury, when the WNBA started, I was like, oh no, I can't do it. Because there was one other woman that went that I played against. She went to Fordham University and she was a scorer. I remember playing against her. And I can't remember her name, but I remember she played for Fordham and she tried out for one of the teams. And it was like, oh boy, I wonder if she didn't make it. But I mean, we were like 35 then. I
Yeah.
was 35 at that
Yeah,
point.
but
And I'm like,
that's
but I
that's
was
still
still in
cool.
good shape, but my knee
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah. Well,
My knee was just not, I was like, oh,
and then
I'm like,
and then you were in one of those positions where you already had another job. So for you
oh,
to have
I had a
surgery,
house payment and all sorts of stuff.
right?
Yeah,
And for you to have
I couldn't do it.
surgery, if it was just your job to, play a sport, then you would go ahead and try to fix your body. But when you got to do other things, you
Well, they
didn't
only
have that
made like
option.
50 grand.
Yeah,
I was making more than that with my regular job. And I
right.
thought about it. I thought like, oh, geez, should I just take a leave of absence and go try this? Because the closest team would have been, I was still down in the Bay Area then. So
Yeah,
the San Jose ABL team was there. And I thought, oh boy. But I hadn't been playing basketball and I was in great shape because I was a mail carrier. So I was out there walking 8 miles a day,
right.
but not basketball shape.
Yeah,
And I hadn't played and my knee was messed up. I wasn't in basketball shape. I was,
yeah,
I was fully into my work life by then.
yeah. I
And
know.
it was what it was. And like, I mean, I was already too old as it was. I mean, Cynthia Cooper, who played those first couple of years, she was a year younger than me.
Hmm.
And, she got 4 years out of it. But, she'd been playing in Italy that whole time. I'm
Right,
out carrying mail,
right. Right. Well, yeah,
playing
absolutely,
softball. Yeah.
100%. Was totally different because we couldn't foresee that being any kind of an option. We wished it was, but it wasn't. So you had to say, well, I need to make money and live my life. So,
Yeah.
she's lucky
Yeah.
she got 4 years in. At least she had the
Yeah.
experience, and what an experience she had. She's still, one of the best there
Well,
is.
it's amazing she knew about being able to go overseas because when I was in school, there was one person that I knew that went overseas and she
Yeah,
went to Japan. And I didn't even know that was an option. I mean,
yeah,
I found out about it after she came back
yeah.
and she came back really, really skinny. Like her waist was like this big. And I almost didn't recognize her. And she
What
goes, yeah, it
happened?
didn't work out
Yeah,
so well.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
She didn't like it over there.
but
But yeah, but like I said, that
I
was
didn't even know
exciting.
about it.
Yeah, I know. Well, like you said, there's nothing we can do about it, but it is exciting to know that there is a clip of you starting off the flag football industry. I think you said the guy won like an Emmy, didn't he? Who produced that?
Yeah, that video it says it on the bottom of the video that it won an Emmy. And I think because one of my softball friends said, hey, I saw you on ABC Sports or something. And I was
Oh,
like,
that's awesome.
she's like, oh, yeah, I saw him. And all these years, I had no idea what she had seen. And then
Yeah,
I was just going through like YouTube and I put in flag football because I saw something else. And there it was. And there was the lady that's been running this flag football tournament. And she's going around to all these different countries, gathering women to play flag football. And
yeah.
now it's huge.
It's
And I
huge.
was like, holy moly.
Yeah,
And it was like one of those things, you fake it till you make it. I mean, she had a passion for doing it. And she had come to my house at one point because she did come out to San Francisco because she was from New York and then she moved to Florida and she came out and stayed with me. I don't remember exactly when that was. I think it was like the second year after we had already gone because I got to know her and she had a passion for it, but she didn't really know the specifics of stuff. That's why I had to help her with the brackets
yeah,
because she was just like, you could see her being confused up there. I'm like, oh no, I better go help.
yeah.
And so I got to know her a little bit, but yes, the same woman. still out there doing it,
That's
you know, and
awesome.
she's got teams in Ecuador and all over the place.
Did anybody
So
reach out to you when you posted it? Anybody that you hadn't heard from in a bit?
just like two people, one or two people that I used to play flag football with.
Oh, that's great though.
Maybe,
It's fantastic. I'm glad that's like
obviously people.
a part of history that was found, you know? So congratulations for that because I personally enjoyed watching it. It's neat to watch when you were
Oh, it was
agile
fun.
and able to, because people don't know. We had nothing. We didn't get filmed. So thank God that guy went out there to film you guys. Um,
Well,
one
we
other
had to
thing.
make stuff up. If we wanted something, we had to start it ourselves because no one else was
Exactly.
going to do it for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, because we were girls and that wasn't an issue, you couldn't do that. Couple of things, then I'll let you take it off on the college because I really haven't watched too much of that. And I know that you've been diligent in watching it. We did say, I believe, that the games are on tomorrow. There's four of them for
Yeah, it
Unrivaled,
starts tomorrow.
TNT.
Mhm.
They got a multi-year partnership with Cheez-Its. First snack to ever do that and Miller Lite. So you can have a Miller Lite with your Cheez-Its. But I did want to say one other thing is that I heard on the Kelsey Brother podcast that Caitlin Clark is coming out with her new Nike shoe this year. She will be wearing it. Not quite sure what it looks like,
Oh,
but she did say that she would be coming out with that. So watch out, Asia.
I'm amazed that they can make these different shoes. Like how different it's a basketball shoe. How are you going to
Yeah,
make what's the
it's
difference?
it's probably who
The
knows. It's
design?
just her design. Probably it's got to be because unless they put new technology, which the average person's not going to care about, into the shoe. It's just the shoe with a different design, but she'll make a lot of money off of it. I like Diana Taurasi. She said recently that she wanted to make more money on the upfront playing the game of basketball. She said she wasn't into doing commercials and products and stuff like that. She wasn't into it. I was like, yeah, well, I get it. She's a little
I
bit older.
understand that perspective.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
know,
I certainly that would be me. I would want to just play the game and
yeah, you want to play the game
get paid
to
for
the
what you
best you
do
can.
well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully they come to some conclusion with the agreement. Haven't heard anything, but we'll see what happens. We
I
don't
can't
know.
imagine there's too much at stake for them to let this go. You have these two new teams starting. I just can't imagine that they won't come to some agreement.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe they're waiting to see what happens with Unrivaled.
well,
Maybe.
Unrivaled isn't really Unrivaled's not meant to be a competition to the WNBA. It was
No,
always meant to just give players an opportunity to stay in the United States
correct.
instead of having to go overseas. That's the only reason it was put into place.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, Stewie and Nafisa, they explained that. It was like, look, we're doing this because we don't want to go overseas anymore. And we know that a number of players don't want to. And boy, you could have a big party just hanging out with everybody in the same, they're
I
all
don't-
in the same city. They're
Wouldn't
all
you want
probably
to
in
be
the
down
same
there?
place.
Wouldn't you want to be down there?
Oh my God, I would.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, if I was one of the
I
players.
was I
It'd be
was
so
what you
much fun
call
to be around everybody.
Holly Rowe was doing she does a lot with WNBA. She does a lot with college football. She's very knowledgeable, and her and I have gone back and forth. She picked a bucket hat to wear to one of the college games. So I said to her, Holly, I got a bucket hat. And I said, "Wear my bucket hat." She gave me a like. She didn't pick the bucket hat. She didn't wear either hat during the college game. But I think maybe it's because I said wear a bucket hat. She did the opposite. But I would love to be down in Miami. I would love it right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. It's a lot of it looks like it's a lot of fun and
Yeah.
it keeps you in really good shape. Going 3-on-3 full court is going to keep you in shape. And last year watching that one-on-one, man, those players were exhausted
Yeah.
trying to go one-on-one. But I mean, you could see it's exhausting
Yeah. Well, we
trying to
did
play
that.
one-on-one.
We did
And
that
that was
when we
only
were.
half.
We did that when we were just, when we were young and pickup games around, yeah, one of the guy friends came over, hey, you want to play one on one kind of. Make it, take it, so, but
Yeah.
yeah, it gets exhausting real quick when you have nobody to pass the ball to.
Yeah. You can't take a break. It's 100% all the time.
I
Yeah.
know.
That was
Yeah,
interesting to watch though.
yeah.
Watching
So
it like, whoa,
I'm
boy, they're
looking
tired.
forward to. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. See your take on all the things, but talk to me about college basketball because I've. Who's your go-to team this year that you're watching?
Well, at first I was gonna just cover UCLA and UConn.
Yeah,
And because UCLA's out here, they're a number 4 team, and UConn's the number 1 team. And then I was like, well, and then I watched a couple of teams that they played, and I was like, oh, these are some pretty good games. And then I thought, well, I'll cover top 25. Well, top 25 is a lot. It's a
yeah,
lot. There's a lot of games on. But I was able to watch some teams that I normally wouldn't have seen. Like, just for instance, I watched Nebraska play Iowa because I was covering Iowa, because of they have a good following and they have a pretty good team. They're ranked number 14 and they were playing number 20 Nebraska. And I was like, wow, there are some really good players on these other teams that no one ever hears about. And if you watch all the games, you can see there's some really good players.
yeah,
Anyway, the Nebraska team has this she's a sophomore and she looks like your kid sister kind of thing.
yeah,
And but what I looked her up, she's 5'11". When you're watching her play, she looks like she's 5'8", 5'7", and she just no emotion, just kind of going along, boom, 3-pointer, boom, 3-pointer. Like, holy crap, this girl could shoot. And so anyway, I've seen 2 Nebraska games, and Britt Prince is quite the player. And she is and then I was watching last night, I was watching TCU get upset. So now we're down
yeah,
to 3 teams. There was 8 before this let's see what's before this weekend there were 8 unbeaten teams.
yeah,
There are
right.
now 3.
Yeah,
You have UConn, you have Texas, and I believe the 3rd team is Vanderbilt, who I haven't seen play yet. But TCU got upset. Maryland got upset. The teams that were ranked 5, 6, and 7 all got beat on New Year's Day
yeah,
or New Year's Eve. And so you had number 5 LSU. They got beat by Kentucky. Number 6 Michigan got beat by Washington. I watched that game live. It happened to be on. I have Peacock, and Peacock has been covering some of the games. And man, Washington went out to a huge start, and then Michigan was trying, but boy, Michigan is in such a shooting slump. They went to double overtime against Oregon
that's a good
and
game.
barely eked that one out. I thought,
Yeah,
oh boy, they're going to drop in the standings because Oregon's not ranked. Neither's Washington.
gotta love
Although
a
at the
double
beginning of the
overtime.
season, Washington, yeah, that double overtime game I was like, oh my God, Oregon's so close. But Washington was ranked like 24, 5, somewhere in there at the beginning of the season. And then they lost a couple of games and they dropped out of it. But they were able, in their lavender uniforms, they were able to beat Michigan in Washington. And Washington, their 2 games, they were absolutely putrid from the foul line. I mean, we're talking 50% as a team.
Yeah,
They lost like 25 points from the foul line. I'm like, oh my God, they're right there's the win,
yeah,
And in the second game against Washington, they were putrid from the foul line. But I think they were a little better. I think they shot like 58%, but their shooting overall is just really poor. Like really poor. They're shooting like I forget their 3-point shooting, I think in one game, if I remember correctly, was 8%. 8.
mm,
And so anyway, they lose, and then number 7, Maryland loses. I forget who Maryland lost to. Who were they playing? I don't know. I can't remember. There were so many games. But I've watched a bunch of these teams along with UConn and UCLA. Last night, UCLA beat USC, and I didn't realize it was on, and Peacock, it was on Peacock, and I happened to turn the TV on. It was like, oh, look, USC and UCLA are playing. And so I missed the first quarter, and before the game, I heard the voices, and they were like, oh, USC put on pressure and did it. So I expected UCLA to be losing. No, they were up by 12. And so I caught the game from the second quarter on, and UCLA just poured it on. And USC had no chance. I think USC is going to drop out of the top 25. They're not that good. They're okay, but I mean, UCLA beat them 80-46. They only scored 46 points. They normally score like 70. And UCLA's defense, Lauren Betts was just blocking, like, bam, like, come in, and she just go, when you're 6'7", you can do those kind of things. But UCLA has got shooters.
Yeah.
Gina Neepkins, they're predicting her to go to the Valkyries. Oh my God, I would love Gina Neepkins. She can shoot. It's like money.
I used to watch a lot of the LSU games, but I haven't been able to catch them on. I'm sure I could catch them on YouTube.
No, I only caught the one this past week. The SEC has not been on. I haven't been able to watch South Carolina, but I caught them on New Year's Day because the SEC had finally started. I guess they start later than the other conferences start because the Big Ten has been going on for a week or so. And I caught the South Carolina game. I can't remember who they were playing, but I saw the LSU game against Kentucky, and Kentucky beat them. Kentucky has a nice team. They're ranked number 11. And they just took it, it was a close game. And Kentucky got the ball with like, I don't know, 15 or 18 seconds left. And their leading scorer had the ball, and she was just dribbling around. And you would think, Kim Mulkey is the same age as me. She was playing in college the same time I was. You would think you would know a 3-point shot is going to beat you. The worst that can happen on a 2-point shot is overtime.
Right.
Like, oh my God, don't let somebody take a 3-point shot. And they did. And it swished on the buzzer, at the buzzer. And Kentucky wins.
She must have pitched a fit. She's always good for a little bit of antics on the sideline. Kim.
Yeah. But you never know. I mean, she might have said to the kid, said to the players, hey, a 3-point, don't give up a 3.
Yeah, don't let
even
anybody.
If it would actually make sense to foul somebody, then they have to make 3 threes. They 3 foul shots. You have a better chance there.
Yeah.
But they let the girl. She was just dribbling around, and they were like, kind of eyeing her, and putting their hand out, but not real pressure. And she just backed up and went, boop, 3-point shot. Kentucky wins at the buzzer. But I mean, it was literally I think there was 0.5 seconds left after they reviewed it.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't enough time to throw the ball in and get it. But otherwise, I mean, UConn games are boring because they're just blowing people out. Even UCLA is pretty much blowing people out. Texas had a battle. Who were they? There was a team that gave Texas quite a battle for a half, and then Texas just pulled away. But that's what happens a lot of times. You'll get a team that'll kind of hang with somebody. I was watching TCU and Utah last night, and that game was neck and neck the whole time. And then TCU would get a little bit of a lead, and then Utah would come back. That one went into overtime, and Utah beat them. They were one of the unbeatens. Olivia Miles is playing great.
Yeah.
Olivia Miles has got some moves, and she's like the first step to the basket. You can see now, and then you have Notre Dame, who they may drop out of the top 25. They're ranked 18th, and they lost again. They lost to.
I did see that.
Who were they playing?
I can't remember, but I saw that they lost.
Oh, Georgia Tech. It was Georgia Tech.
Oh boy.
And they're just not as good.
Yeah.
You lose it. I mean, look at how good Citron is. And Citron was not getting the headlines. It was Miles and Hidalgo getting all the headlines for Notre Dame. And then Citron comes to Washington. It's like, oh boy, look at how
Yeah.
good she is.
Yeah.
And now you're looking, okay, so Miles and Citron are gone from Notre Dame now, and Notre Dame's not doing as well.
Right. Well,
Hidalgo can't carry the team.
no, I mean, it's their, every team goes through growing spurts and pains and who leaves and who's left. And, that's
Well,
the
she's
hard
the only
part.
one left from last year's team
Hmm.
on Notre Dame. So you have a whole new team.
Right.
So
And that's
I don't
hard.
know.
Hey, I wanted to
Yeah.
see, did you see Pam Ward retired?
Yeah, I did see that.
She was
It
there a
is hard
long
to believe
time.
she's been at it that long. But
I
I
know.
mean, she's been announcing for as long as I can remember. So is Holly Rowe for that matter.
Yeah, a very long time. I actually looked up Pam Ward. She was the first woman in 2000 to call play-by-play televised D1 college football on ESPN. 2000.
Yeah. She's a good announcer. Well,
Yeah,
wouldn't Doris Burke? Well, Doris Burke did NBA basketball.
yeah, but I mean, there's so many few and far between, really. The next close one I think really is Holly Rowe. She's been at it a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but you have like sideline reporters for the NFL and stuff, but that's
Yeah,
that's different.
yeah.
The what interesting is I don't even know. I think Doris Burke is still doing NBA games, but she was at Providence when I was at Rhode Island. She was I think she was a freshman when I was a senior, but I don't
Hmm.
remember. I mean, we played Providence all the time. We played them twice a year, but I don't remember her playing against her.
I wanted to ask you, you never heard of going overseas, right? Like as a player, you said you knew somebody who went over to Japan and came back, but you were not aware of that option when you played, that you could go overseas.
No.
Did you ever
Well,
hear of it?
she was a year ahead of me.
Yeah. And
She was a year ahead of me. I found out when she got back. I didn't
did you
even know, like, no one had told me that that was an option.
exactly.
And
Now, was it an
there was
option? Because you're very knowledgeable. Was there an option for you to go into broadcasting?
one of my softball teammates had that as a major, but I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. But it
I
was very
never
hard.
really wanted, I wanted to play.
Yeah.
I
No, I
went
did
into
too.
coaching. I coached for 7 years. I coached basketball for 5 when I first got here to California, but no one knew who I was out here. So
Right.
I was starting from scratch,
Right.
and I got this D3, not even D3, coaching job at a college in the Bay Area. And then I got an offer for another one, but it was like, it wasn't that much money. And I was about to get in the post office. And I thought, well, I just want to play.
Yeah.
And then I coached high school for a few years. And then I coached softball later in the late 90s. I coached softball for 2 years, but it was really hard to do when you're working.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, I know.
as a mail carrier, I was working 10-hour days and I
Yeah,
was
I know.
having to, you know, trying to coach softball and get out of work early. And it was a big hassle.
Yeah, it is.
And
It
I mean, I
was.
liked doing it, but it was hard to do for year after year after year.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the school wanted me to come on as a teacher. And I had a teaching degree. That wouldn't have been a problem. But I was like, I was already established. By 1998, I'm what? Geez, 37 years old.
Yeah.
And, it's just kind of like, oh, do I want to go into teaching? Because they want to be a teacher and then coach like basketball and softball and stuff. And it was, I mean, I thought about it for a second, but I'm like, oh, do I really want to do that?
Yeah.
And, I was at the age where I didn't want the hassle of that. Not that it was a hassle, that's the wrong word. Just play. I just wanted to play. I wanted to go to work and then go play softball at night and, I did flag football earlier in the 90s and then basketball, but after my knee, I couldn't really do basketball anymore,
Right.
which was a bummer because that's the thing I love the most. And but I could play softball. So I played softball until I was 48. And
Yeah.
then my eyesight started to come in and I couldn't, I mean, I could see, but especially at night, like all of a sudden the ball started hitting like my thumb,
Yeah.
on my glove instead of
The
going in my glove.
glare.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell's going on? And I realized it was my eyesight. 'Cause I just started wearing reading glasses around then. And it was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what
Welcome
it
to
is.
it. I
Well,
never
I
wore
got it.
glasses either. I never wore glasses either. Welcome to age. That's what we do as we get
Yeah.
old. But
Like
who
one
you,
day you couldn't read the phone book anymore.
yeah, exactly. Like what the one of these things.
And it
What do you
happened suddenly.
yes, it sure does. And it all the
It was like
Maureen
one day you were fine, the next day you can't read the phone book.
or somebody throws something to you now and you just miss it. It's like, what the hell's going on? I would have snagged that any other time, but now it's like
Yeah.
just hit you I know it's weird. It's weird to get old, kids. Don't get old. Everybody will.
Yeah.
But so you gonna watch tomorrow Unrivaled? We'll have a bunch of
Oh
games
yeah.
to yeah, me too. Yeah, because you're
Oh yeah.
off
I'll be checking out
a-
the whole thing.
and I'll be watching, so I'll text you in between. We'll see what you think. I'm looking forward to see how they open it up and what goes on. Yay,
Yeah. Yeah,
basketball.
I can't I'm because once this is over, then the WNBA starts
Yeah,
and then
with the
it's
hope of God.
all the way through from tomorrow until what, June?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
So
it's later than that. Till October.
yes, October, unless they
When is the WNBA finals? October. Yeah,
May,
beginning of
yeah, May to October. The but yeah, hopefully
wait,
they get their
10
shit
months.
together. Hopefully they get their shit together and then we don't have to worry about that.
I would think there's too much at risk for them not to.
Yeah,
Like, why
well,
would you risk blowing
yeah,
that up?
exactly. You got a good thing. Pay them what they're worth and let's move on. The fans are ready.
Yeah.
But all
Well, I
right,
just
so
wish there was a way to get the NBA out of it.
I
You
know.
know,
That's what I've been
get the,
saying it all over the internet. I've been saying get the NBA out, WNBA. You know, it's time to put on the big girl pants and, let's do it by ourselves and get the middleman out of the ball game. Stake your,
well,
get your
it's
money.
free money for them. They're not going to do that.
No, I know
The
they're not.
NBA gets free money. They don't have to do a darn thing.
I
And
know.
just let they get their money, let the WNBA deal with the rest of it.
Exactly. They can deal with all
With
the
the greed that's
turds.
going around in this country these
Oh
days,
my, I know.
they're not going to do
Everybody
that,
wants, the
unfortunately.
coin. I know. I hear you.
Yeah.
But, all right.
Even
So,
when you have billions of it.
yeah, I know. It's never enough. It's like, it's never enough money. It's sad,
Yeah.
sad state of
It is
affairs.
sad.
But
Yeah.
I'll touch base with you tomorrow.